Hello everyone, my name is Shane and today I'm going to be doing a video on a mobile zoom in camera manager for your orthographic camera view. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you guys very much. I started this channel up about a week ago and we've already had over 60 subscribers and 300 total channel views, which is absolutely amazing. For any new listeners, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please don't forget to leave a comment because this is how I'm actually going to provide the content that you guys want to see. I definitely need some more ideas of kind of what to start with. I have a mountain load of them, but I'm not sure what you guys are actually looking for. So if you have anything that you need to see on a tutorial, please let me know. And if I know how to do it, I'll shoot it out for you. So thank you very much and let's get started. So you guys are actually looking at my super secret game that I'm working on called Dimensions Mobile. So this should be out soon on the Play Store, and a lot of the scripts I'm giving you guys are the exact same scripts I actually use in my game. So what we'll be doing today is the zooming in. So as you see, we can zoom in and it locks to a certain position, which is really easy to change, as well as it will zoom out and it will lock to a position. Eventually, there we go. Now, when you are doing this on your phone, it is actually going to work way faster than that. But you guys will see in our code, I definitely did not optimize this for the computer. I just made it so that you can at least zoom in and test, kind of like if you were playing on your phone. But when you have it on your phone, it's just going to be way better. So you guys will see if you actually put it in and run it. So let me turn this off. I actually started up a new project. We're not going to do the manager in here just because I got too much stuff going on and I don't want to reveal too much just yet. So I have opened up a new project. Now all of this is standard. The only thing that's not standard is I obviously pre-made the script just to make this tutorial go by a little bit faster. I'm going to start putting these videos out. I'm going to try to edit them the best I can, but I'm not going to go overboard because I want to get as many videos out as fast as I can. I do work a full-time job as well as I work on my own projects, and now I have this putting it out for you guys. So I apologize if the quality isn't always the best, or if sometimes I'm speaking over my own words, or if you hear my dog eating food like he's about to do right now because he knows I'm in the middle of me recording. So if you guys hear stuff like that, I apologize. I'm actually just doing it so I can get more videos out for you guys. And I typically do retake these videos probably 4 or 5 times, so it still takes a few hours before I even can even get something that I can edit. So, but anyways, we just have our script and we have our general default view, and that's all you guys need to know for now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our main camera and we're going to set our position to 0, 0, 0. And now for our projection, instead of a perspective view, we're going to go to an orthographic view and we're going to set our size. You can set it to like 40, 50, or 45. 45 is a really good size kind of for this tutorial. And we are going to set our rotation to 35 on the X. Now what we need to quickly do is make something to look at. So let's take a cube. On the X value, let's set this to 30. On the Y, we'll keep it as 1. And on the Z, we will set this to 30. For our position, let's just set this to 0, 0, 0 for now. And there we go. So you guys are going to see right off the bat there is already an issue. If you look at the game view, it's only displaying half of our cube. Now the reason for that is if you double click on the main camera and look at it from a side view, make sure we open up the camera. As you see, this white rectangle is the actual viewable area that our camera is going to display, and our object is halfway into that camera. So there's 2 things you can do. You can either A, move the camera back, or B, move the object forward. And now I'm going to suggest B because if you guys are using the panning manager that I made for this, it is going off the basis that your position is 0, 0, 0. So let's say you made it so that the player can't go past 30 on the X for panning. If you set your position already to 20, they're going to lose so much panning view. They'll only be able to go out like that far, which kind of sucks. Whereas if they went from 0 to 30 is a bigger impact than 20 to 30. So I would keep that at 0, 0, 0, but it is up to you. You can also change that up easily in the script. If you guys have an issue with that, just let me know. But it's not too important for this tutorial. So now we have our cube, which is, just imagine this is like your Clash of Clans base and your camera's looking at it. And then inside of our cube, we're going to make an empty game object, and we're actually going to call this our locking point. And what this is going to do is if we double click on our locking point, it's just going to have a position which is located in the middle of our cube, and this is just going to be the focus for our camera. It looks a lot cleaner and a lot nicer than if we had no focus at all. And I know that sounds a little bit restrictive, but it's not as bad as you guys think. You'll actually see when you put it in on your device, it's going to look really smooth and really awesome. So now you guys need to make your script. I named my script Mobile Camera Zoom. You can name it whatever you want. It is not going to affect this tutorial at all. So whatever is better for you guys, name it. That's great. Now once you get your script, we're going to open it up. Now I have already written all of this code. I typically do this in majority of my videos just so I can kind of speed them up. But of course, I'm going to explain everything to you guys as much as I can. So I'm going to explain a lot of the general info of what you guys actually need to understand how this works, but I'm not going to go into a lot of these calculations and what all this stuff means because it's just going to take a little bit too much time. But I'm going to make sure you at least understand the important parts of this script to actually make it work. So the first thing you guys are going to need to do is make a public transform, and that is going to be called target to follow, or what this actually is our locking position. So this is what is going to center kind of our camera to the middle of whatever object we have, whether it's a player or a city or whatever it is. After that, we're going to need to make 3 floats. So the first float is going to be our zoom out minimum. This actually means how close the person can zoom in. So I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I'll quickly show you it again. So if you click on our main camera, if we set our size to 10, it zooms in really close. If we set our size to 90, it zooms out really far. So all we're doing there, you guys saw I had it in the script set up to 30. That means they can only go to 30. They can't zoom in any more than that. So obviously you guys can change that, but that is essentially what we are doing here. So our zoom out minimum, I set that equal to 30, and our zoom out maximum, we have this set to 90, but just for sake of this video, I'm going to set it to 60. This is actually what I was using for my Dimensions game. So there you go. There's another sneak peek into the programming. And then under this, we're going to have a public float for our speed, and this is just going to be the speed of the zoom in. So you can obviously, I have this set to nothing. What I actually have in my Dimensions game is I have it set to 0.10f, okay? But for testing purposes for you guys, just set this to speed, and what that means is when we actually put on our script, you can change it in the inspector really quickly, and then once you get the number that you love, you can just come back in and set this to equals to whatever you would like, whether it's 7 or 9 or 0.50f, whatever it is, whatever makes you guys happy. Now under this, we're going to go to our void update. So we're going to start with an if statement, and we're going to say, actually, let me zoom this in really quick for you guys, just so you can see everything a little bit better. Let's go to, oh, that's worse. Let's go to, that's even more worse. Oh my goodness. That's too much. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so we're going to do our if statement, and it's going to say if input.touchCount is equal to 2. And what this means is if there is 2 fingers touching the screen. Now you guys want to set this to 2 because if you set it to 1 finger and you have panning, panning also goes off of 1 finger, right? Because typically the person will put 1 finger on the screen and then they would scroll. So we're going to want to do 2 fingers, which could be left and right hand. It can be whatever the person wants. As long as there's 2 touches on the screen, we'll be able to zoom in. And now inside of this, we're actually going to start our calculations that we're then going to tell the camera to do. So the first thing is we're going to need 2 touch variables. So the first touch variable is going to be touch 0 is equal to input.getTouch0. And what this means is touch 0 actually means the first touch. So if you guys are new to doing mobile inputs, 0 means the first touch, 1 means the second touch, 2 means the third touch, and so on. I think you guys get the point. So we're going to do touch 0 equals input.getTouch0, and under that we're going to do touch 1 equals input.getTouch1, which again is touch 1, touch 2. After that, we're going to do 2 vector 2s. So the first vector 2 is going to say touch 0 prev pos, which is touch 0 previous position, is equal to touch 0 dot position subtract touch 0 dot delta position. And then our next vector 2 is going to be the same thing but reversed for our touch 1. So it's going to be touch 1 prev pos equals touch 1 dot position subtract touch 1 dot delta position. Now under this, we're going to have to do a few floats. So the first float is going to be float prev magnitude, which means previous magnitude, is equal to touch 0 prev pos, subtract touch 1 prev pos dot magnitude. And our next float is going to be float current magnitude equals touch 0 dot position, subtract touch 1 dot position dot magnitude. Again, I'm not really going to go over this right now just for the sake of the video, but if this is something you guys really want to see, let me know and I'll try to make a separate video on it. And then we're going to do one more float, and this is going to be the difference. So the float difference is equal to current magnitude subtract the previous magnitude. And now this is actually going to be the calculation to get our speed. So we're going to call our zoom function, which I'll talk about in a second. And in brackets, we're just going to put difference multiplied by speed. Now, you don't actually have to put speed here. If you know the exact number, you can just put like 0.50f, and you can just delete this variable itself. But like I said, I want to let you guys play around with it and see what you like. So for now, I just put speed in there, so you can fine tune it yourself. Now this line of code, all this is going to do is let us be able to actually zoom in on our computer when we're in our game view. If you took this out, you wouldn't be able to zoom in on your computer. It's going to work perfectly fine for your phone, but you guys probably are going to want to test this a little bit to kind of figure out your boundaries and stuff like that. So that code is right there. If you guys figure out that you actually don't want it, you can comment it out when it's not in use, but it shouldn't cause you any issues at all. And then finally, we're going to do our function which actually moves the camera. So this is just the calculation up here, and down here is the function to move our camera. So I call this void zoom, and for our parameters, we're going to do a float increment. And all we're going to do is camera.main.orthographic size with a capital S on size is equal to mathf.clamp, which is going to clamp that position, right? It's going to lock it so they can only go in 30 and out 60. And so we're going to do mathf.clamp, and then in brackets we're going to do camera.main.orthographic size, again with a capital S for size, subtract increment, comma, zoom out min, comma, zoom out max. And don't forget to save this, and this is all you guys are actually going to need. So if we open back up our game now, it's going to quickly compile the code. I find that this actually takes quite a while compared to my other scripts. But now what we're going to do is we're going to click on our main camera in the hierarchy, and we are going to drag our script onto it. And ta-da, there you go. You see your zoom out minimum, your zoom out maximum, your speed, which is set to 0. Like I said, we put this in the inspector, so if you guys set this to 2 and run your game, it's going to work. Now the way it looks on the computer is not going to look how it looks on the phone, which kind of sucks. I wish I could make it more accurate, but I can't. So if you put 1 on the computer, when you test it on your phone, it's going to be super quick. You guys are going to see it's like actually 10 times the speed than it was on your computer. I'm not sure why it does this. I haven't figured it out. So if you really want like a 1 speed, then do like 0.10. And like I said, for my game, I was doing 0.10, and that is plenty. That is quite a bit. But I would say 0.10 to 0.30 if you're working between a 30 view and a 100 view. I would say that probably 0.20 is the highest you guys are going to need. So once you have that in there, we already have our zoom out minimum and our zoom out maximum. The last thing we're going to need is our transform, target to follow, which is just going to be that locking point. Remember, this just kind of focuses the camera in on this object, so it's not going astray in super weird directions. Now if we hit play, you guys are going to see that if you zoom in, ta-da, there you go, and it's going to lock our position at 30. And if you zoom out, there we go. Now it locked our outer position. And that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And again, thank you for the support lately. I'm going to try to keep pushing out as many videos as I can and trying to get really good quality. And I'm definitely going to get better as I go. But if you guys have any major complaints, whether it's audio or, for example, I changed the script size just so you guys can see it a little bit better. If something like that is super important to you guys and you want to see it keep happening in my next videos, please let me know and I will get right on it. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.